Hello, hello. It is I, Mary Tamil. So I've enrolled six high ticket clients in the past week. Well, the past 10 days, really. And what is it that has made me enroll six high ticket clients in the past 10 days? Well, first off, number one, it's been my belief. I have shown up to these calls in pure service and pure belief, not only in myself, in the product, and in my leads, in the people that I'm speaking to, knowing their ability to be powerful, to get what they want, to create the results they want. And if they want it, they can have it, right? And me showing up as an ally to help make it work for them and with them. Versus me just trying to, get their money, right? I'm really truly showing up as a person who's on their side and making what they want happen, helping them make what they want happen. So that's number one. Number two is I didn't rush any of them. I sometimes when I'm not making as many sales, when I go and review my calls and look at like just my energy and what I've been doing, I realize I kind of rush, right? And what this rushing is, it looks like rushing through the call, but what I'm really doing is I'm jumping to conclusions and making assumptions. So I'm rushing my kind of thought process. I'm thinking about, will they be able to afford it? I'm thinking about what questions to ask. And I'm also kind of going into this place of like trying to do something, right? Versus sitting back, being in my energy, being in my power, knowing that I know the right things to say, trusting that, what needs to come through on the call will come through on the call. And really just like setting my intention, right? And going with it, right? The last one that I just closed this morning, I caught myself starting to think ahead, starting to needing to make something happen, right? Because sometimes on these calls, I have these, realizations and I'm like, oh my God, right? This is what you're doing. This is what's happening. This is the pattern at play. And they're like, oh my God, I've never thought of that. And they have this crazy breakthrough. And I have this like, amazing leadership moment. And it's so like delicious and amazing. And that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's just them speaking their truth and then like me inviting them in and then like them enrolling, like sometimes that's it. It's that simple and nothing like crazy needs to happen. I don't need to make something happen. Um, yeah, and I caught myself thinking about that and feeling stressed that I didn't have that moment and that like I couldn't think of anything like groundbreaking or mind-blowing, right? And I caught myself and I didn't think it for long. I went back and I went, Mary, it's okay. Like some calls are like this. There is no groundbreaking moment. There is no insane realization. Like it is just what it is, it's just them telling you what's up and you being like, wow, okay, I see. Here's what I see. And this is how, the program's going to help. And then they're like, okay. And then it's like, what needs to happen? We needed to create a payment plan for her. It was fine. She paid the first payment, a large deposit on the call, and now she's moving on with the program and very excited. So that's a big one too. And then the third thing is I called people out. I called people out. I called them out so hard. I got so uncomfortable. And once again, this is not an all the time thing, right? The last call I just had, there was no really calling out, right? There were a few moments of like, okay, like if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? But other than that, she was super self-aware. I didn't need to. There were other calls this past week where, oh my God, right? Like I went there with people straight for the jugular, right? In a super loving, super kind, super compassionate way because I care and because I see these things and because guess what? Nobody else in their life is going to do it, right? It is on me. That is why they're here. That is why they're in my space, right? Like this is another thing I teach in Sales Savage is like, why is this person in front of you? Like getting really curious, not like just letting people off the hook. Like this one woman who I spoke to this past week who closed, she put a 4-figure payment down on the call and she said no because she was like, I don't see it, you know? She's like, I'm okay, right? I am okay. I'm happy. That's what she said to me. She's like, no, because like I'm happy, I'm fine. And she had just spent this whole call telling me how unhappy and not fine she was, right? But she had this surface masking, which is the exact thing we're going to work on with her in the program, right? Is how to be real, right? And that's why she's not getting what she wants in love, in life, overall, right? That's why she feels like she doesn't have what she wants because she has this mask on and she's like, right, it's like the person that's always positive, but you know, like beneath the surface, they're dealing with a ton of stuff. And it's almost like annoying because you're like, this isn't real, right? And that's what she was dealing with. And I called her out so hard and she was like, oh my God, right? Like I had her in her tracks. That was one of those like magical calls where you're just like, you're not getting away. You're not getting out of this, right? It wasn't from a place of manipulation. I went full transparency mode with her, which is also another thing that I teach, right? Is this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. This is what I'm saying to you. This is why I'm saying it to you, right? You could say go full transparency mode, right? Like no one else is going to tell you this. And like this is the real thing. And hey, I'm not like, if you get off this call, like I'm never going to speak to you again, probably, right? Like this is why I'm telling you this here and now. We're here. And she joined. We made it work. So this is one of my, oh my God. And if you're in Sales Savage, I do call reviews. So I give you the inside scoop of like actually how to handle objections, actually how to, navigate calls and do transitions and collect cash on the call. That's one of my greatest zones of genius is cash collecting on the call because everyone, if you're selling high ticket coaching or anything, like, people will say, oh yeah, sure. And then you never, hear from them again, or they like back out, right? When you cash collect on the call, even if it's a smaller deposit than like your normal, high ticket like payment, even if it's not a pay in full, which you still can cash collect. And I advise highly cash collect pay in fulls on the call as well. But even if you're just getting a substantial deposit, that's going to lock people in and help them, start the program so that they can feel the transformation already start to happen. And then they're like, okay, let me just like pay the rest off or I'll do the payment plan, right? So it's not, you can do refundable deposits, but I recommend just doing start deposits. So it's like just you pay the deposit to start and then they can, pay in full or, go on a longer payment plan, but you're getting something on the call, you're getting their commitment because you've just done all this emotional and mental lifting and you've gotten them to a place where they're a yes. And so for that reason, you're going to have a higher close rate in general if you are able to cash collect on the call. So this is another reason that I was able to close so many people this week was because I was cash collecting on the call. And this is what I teach you. I teach you some of the best objection handling I've ever seen in the industry because we use my love and fire method, right? Which is insane levels of safety, depth, understanding, right? You're like their best friend that, they trust and that they see as an expert, by the end of the call. And so you have this leeway, you have this runway to really fucking go there with them, and really challenge them and really call them up and into their vision and hold their vision for them. And this is how I'm able to have such a high close rate and close so many high ticket clients each week, each month, because I use these practices. And they are what I've learned from closing over 3 million in cash collected and high ticket coaching sales. And this is what I teach inside of Sales Savage. And if you're interested, I'm running a promo for my automated, do it at your own pace Sales Savage program. This is going to give you the inside look into how to call people out and up with confidence, with ease, in a way that leads to conversions and sales, how to, create that space, create that energy with people. It's much easier than you think. A lot of people way overthink their sales, and this is why they're not getting as many. They way overthink it. So being in the energy is really, really key. And then actually knowing what to say, right? Knowing how to hold the energy and make those transitions and cash collect on the call. This is what has made me so successful with this. And it's not something everyone teaches. I have a very different vibe. If you know me, right? And it's like, I'm not here to be a bro marketer, right? I'm here to make change. I'm here to change people's lives and help them change their life, help them say yes to themselves. You know, people are living Groundhog Day again and again. They're living in very limited realities because of their environment and because of, you know, the feedback loops that they've created. So they need to get themselves out and into something new, right? That's what this is. That's what I provide. I believe in it. I know it works. So we get to, you know, bring people into our work and call people into their highest self. And I get messages, you know, every month, every year from people, you know, telling me how glad they are that I, you know, held them in that vision and thanking me, you know. So this is service. And when you do sales right, it is life-changing for not only you and your bank account and the way you get to live your life, but for the people you enroll. So thank you for watching. Thank yourself for watching, and send me a DM Savage if you want to learn more about Sales Savage for yourself.